Hey, everybody, welcome to the witching hour. The hour when the veil is thin and magic happens, no matter when you tune in. My name is, I am your host, and I have a beautiful guest for you today. She is an occult scholar. She is a tarot reader. She is a deck creator. She's a certified aromatherapist, all sorts of magical things. Let me introduce you to Judika Illes. Thank you so much for coming on my show, Judika.
Oh, thank you for having me, Patty.
Ah, so a little bit for anybody who doesn't know who you are yet, how did you not go into your whole origin story, but how did this path? You've been around for a long time, maybe
Oh,
even longer
yeah,
than
I'm
me, and
old.
that's saying a lot.
No,
So how
I
did this,
haven't. I've been doing
how,
this all my life, so I mean, it's true.
were you born into it or?
Apparently, maybe to my parents' regret, but yeah, I mean, people always ask me, how did you become interested? But I was always interested. I come from a family, they're not practitioners, but they were interested. And my mother taught herself English by teaching me to read. So I was a
Oh,
very early reader. And we had astrology books and numerology books. And my sister brought home a deck of tarot cards when I was 6, and I took them from her. So I've been doing this my whole life. I don't know why I had a passion for it. Even as a child, when they told me fairy tales, I always identify with the witch. And so it just, this is how I am. And I've
oh,
been doing it ever since.
that is beautiful. And you've written some major works of art, like not three fabulous spells or a year's worth of, what year's your book, like 500,000 spell. Look
Five
at
million.
that. Oh my God. That is oh so beautifully overwhelming to me. That is amazing.
Yeah, that's
So
the book I think people know me the best for.
yeah, that is beautiful and amazing. So are do you consider yourself a spellcrafter? Is that part of
I
your
do.
practice? Is
I do. Writing that book was like getting a PhD in spellcraft because it's really all I did for writing it. I mean, I researched for a long time before, but I spent about 9 months doing nothing but writing, literally
wow.
nothing but writing. And so when you are immersed in it, you really start to see rhythms and patterns. And I encourage people, to create their own spells and to explore and see what works for them.
Good, good. So do and I love that about you. And this is my dog Willow. I apologize wholeheartedly. It's
I love
that
dogs.
hour of the afternoon when she gets very loud. Willow, shush. Oh, it's because her friends are coming over. She'll be outside any moment, I think. Okay. Anyway, so about that, so you being into spells, and it seems like you're very elemental in your work. And speaking of the what you have out now, and I just got, and I'm so excited about, is the Magic Spells Oracle. So this is intriguing to me because it's not just divination; it's got spell working. So it's not let us tell you your future; you create your future, kind
Right.
of thing, right? So
Right.
how did this idea? This is very different. How did this come about?
Well, it actually came from the team that created 5,000 Spells, which in
Uh-huh.
England is known as the Element Encyclopedia of 5,000 Spells. And everybody
Oh,
always asks me, what's the difference? And the difference is that word and sometimes the cover art, because the original publisher was Harper Element. It was the name of the publisher. And the joke is that all these years later, they came back to me and said, let's do a deck. And we talked about doing it as originating from elemental magic. So we really kind of have four suits. We've got the four classical Western elements: earth, air, fire, water, and examples of each one, and balancing cards because sometimes you need them. And that's actually out of my own astrological chart. And I also recommend, even if you think you're not interested in astrology, learn enough just to cast your chart and understand it, because it is so helpful to living, but also to spellcraft. What kind of spells are you primed to cast? What kind of, nobody needs 5,000 spells. So, even though spells are like stars in the sky, they're innumerable. People are creating new spells every single day. But you need the spells that work best for you, the spells that will be effective for you. Because what works for me might not work for you, might not work for the person across the street. So finding out your own elemental makeup is so beneficial. I have no planets in air signs, not one. But I have Aquarius rising, which is an Aquarius is an air sign. And that's my balancing card because I would be completely out of balance without it. So this deck has 2 balancing cards, and it's an oracle deck, so you can do tons of stuff with it. You can use it to cast spells. You can pull a card a day. There are some spreads in there. You can use it to answer questions. And I
So go on. I'm just so intrigued.
we each card has an image of something, a magical something that has the scarab, that's one of the balancing cards. The, um, the keys, they're like gifts to me. I think every day you pick one and it's like receiving a gift. What gift?
So again, I think that's beautiful. So within the book are spells and things. So how
Sure,
could, oh, say a witch, whether you're just a beginner witch, you're just discovering the craft, or maybe you've been doing it for decades, you work that in as their toolkit into their day-to-day life, like a
sure.
spell a day or a card a day, or
Yeah. People have been telling me how they're using it, and sometimes people are doing it as a spell a day, and sometimes people are looking at the spells as a form of interpretation. What do I need? That's almost part of the response of the cards. What do I need today? What spell will I cast to or at least a direction, even if you don't do it I always tell people you have to adapt it for yourself. Spells are supposed to make your life better. They're not supposed to be stressful. When you look at a spell and you go, "Oh no, I can't do that." Don't. Do something else. Maybe let it inspire you to create something that you can do and that will empower you and will help you attain your goals. I mean, people have been telling me that that's what they're doing with the deck.
that is, beautiful. And you do kind of stress in your work that you do want it easy and everyday items, and you don't need to, go to the top of the mountain of whatever to find what you want to do. And that agrees with my philosophy very much so.
Well,
You-
people have to cast the spells that are best for them. I have another book, Magic When You Need It, and that has 75 situations, 2 spells each. And one spell is something that you can do so spontaneously with items you're going to find in your house. And the other one is going to be more complicated, maybe more expensive, more because there are people for whom if it is not difficult, it doesn't feel real. So
Yes,
you have to do I am not that person, but I know people like that, and you have to do what's best for you.
that is good. I agree wholeheartedly. So I'm going to go back to how adding the astrology within it. So I'm a Libra. So am I, as a Libra, I need like decision making spells. Yeah.
Well, maybe. That is, I mean, every sign has its stereotypes. I'm a Cancer, and do I have food for emergencies that will never happen stored away in my house? Oh, yeah. Um, but yeah, if you're a Libra, I think one of the things I was married to a Libra. I have a lot of Libras in my life. My son is a Libra. Malachite, that's the stone for Libras. It's very, very
Really?
beneficial. Yeah,
I do love
very
Malachite.
traditional. Malachite is a beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
It's, um, yeah. And it's interesting that you have a lot of Libras in your life. I have a lot of Cancers in my life. Again, they're my warm, fuzzy home people and people who cook. I don't have any extra food in my house. I don't have any food in my house at all.
Oh no, I'm the weepy Cancer who weeps at everything and has like spare food in case 20 years from now we're gonna have like 3 days where we can't get food. I'm prepared.
Yeah, I love that. So I'm like Raven Crow, why did you decide upon this?
because
This is
it's
one of my
magic.
symbols.
Because it's one of my symbols too. And it's magic. And because an oracle card should speak with you. And I find ravens, all the corvids, so communicative. And so, I mean, they're just witch creatures.
Yeah, they are. They are
I love
beautiful.
them.
So how is it, again, you have done so many things. Your body of work just goes folklorist, aromatherapist, again, which of many things, really big books, which impresses the hell out of me because I try to write really little books. Did how much of that did influence who you are and your way of being into this? Again, you mentioned balance, you have balancing cards into what you did here.
I think that deck, I worked pretty closely with the team at Harper. They were wonderful. That deck has there's a lot of what I love in it. A lot of the symbols, maybe not every single one, but a lot of them they're very close to my heart. And so there's a lot of me in that deck. When you write encyclopedias, as I do, I've written 4 encyclopedias, you have to be neutral and not, it can't be, these are, my books are not here are Judica's favorite spells. It's 5,000 spells, and some of them are spells that don't really interest me, quite honestly. Some of them are spells I love, but not all of them because I'm not writing for myself.
Right.
But that deck, that there's a lot of me in it. There's nothing in there I dislike. None of the symbols.
So, it's just it's gorgeous. Very the color of malachite too. It's like
Well, like the scarab. There's, I mean, there's a firebird in there, phoenixes. I mean, those are all things that are important to me. So, but I don't want that to distract. But it has to be for other people too, because I'm sure as a writer, you look at your work, and when you see it, it's different from other people seeing it.
yeah, completely.
Yeah.
So if I was say if I was a reader and I'm reading for a client or a friend or something like that, would you again lean to I love that it's this weird combination of divination, it's cards, oracle deck, and let's take action and do something.
If I was reading for a client and I am a card reader, I would shuffle those cards. There are some spreads in there if someone wants to read for themselves, but I would have the person shuffle the cards. And in this case, I would, depending what their situation is, I would either be looking for where is your strength or where do you need assistance? Where are your challenges? And then I would have them pull out a set number of cards, 3, 4, whatever, not too many. I wouldn't do like maybe 3, 4, 5 at most, maybe even one, and just see what comes up. What is the symbol? What is the element? And if I'm pulling more than one, if I have three, I did a card reading with it recently, and all the cards were air signs. And so we talked about communication and thought and planning versus if it had been fire or water, I, we might have discussed different things.
I
So
think that is just so fascinating. I can't wait to do a reading with them and see, you know, how
let me
to
know. Let me know what
I
happens.
will. I promise I will. And I might do. And I'm not a self reader. I never have been to pull a
Me-
card a day or anything like that. But this may inspire me. Again, I'm more a take action person than don't tell me what to do. So that's why I'm so intrigued.
Do you know what I do with myself though? When I because I have been using it for myself.
What?
I pull a card and it's like a gift a day. It's like a little, it's like a little psychic gift. What am I receiving? Am I receiving a cat? Am I receiving an emerald? Am I receiving what do I need today? And I let the cards tell me. And then I just in my mind I kind of riff off of that. There is a guidebook and it will tell you what official things about what the cards mean, but you can also just take it. I am also someone who doesn't like to be told what to do. You can also just look at it and what does that symbol mean to you?
I love the simplicity because if anybody can't see them up close, like this one, it's earth. So we've got the element, a magic coin, prosperity, opportunity, wealth. You can just give three simple words. It seems like of
Right.
everything. Water, mermaid, wealth, enchantment, secrets. So right there, you're going to give yourself a really great place. What's this
I
one?
hope so.
Lapis lazuli, speech, dreams, communication. So as it, I am elemental in my practice, in my belief system, in everything I do. Is that why you two? Is that why you decided that this would be an elemental deck over?
We were just, honestly, it wasn't, there was no plan. We just did it.
I love
We
it.
just did it. The lapis lazuli for air, and I say this as someone without air, is because if you do not have air, and speech and communication and language has been an issue for me my whole life, wearing a blue stone at your throat, or I'm wearing some turquoise right here, it facilitates speech over the throat chakra. So it's not random. I mean, those symbols are well thought out. The magic coin reminds me a little bit of the that was intended with the suit of pentacles from the
Mhm.
tarot,
Yeah.
which is the earth suit. So it's not just sort of random. It was well thought out which symbols. You might not
It's
know it, but it was well thought out, and that was planned. Which there was a lot of discussion which symbols go where. So
yeah.
why
I
it was
anything I'm
elemental? It
tuned
just
to
that just
is
happened. That was very spontaneous.
I think it's again so basically each one is one of the four elements and then there's two balanced ones.
Correct.
And and the different fires, like this fire is a lamp. This fire is a ruby. So I think this is just clever. This is going to
Oh,
be my new
you
favorite deck.
know,
I'm
oh,
sorry.
that makes me very happy. But think about astrology. We have three fire signs: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They're not all the same. And the flame of a candle is not the same as the flame in your fireplace, which is absolutely not the same as a wildfire that might be threatening your home, which is, not the same as a bonfire that you build on purpose and you're dancing around it. They're all fire, but they're not the same. So that's why there's not just, we didn't do a four-card deck with, one fire, one earth, one air.
That's funny. So what do you, I mean, I'm not, what, again, I know this is just recent release, and again, I'm very excited about it. Do you know what you want to do next? Do you have something on your,
I'm actually working on another deck right now.
oh, good.
I can't say what it is yet. Early
Ah,
days, but it should
early
be here by
day.
next fall. Yeah, no, this year, 2025 for me was the year I woke up and I found that I was a deck creator. So, it is never too late. If you're listening out there and you think it is too late to do something new, I'm an old girl and I'm still doing new things. If you had told me in 2022 that I was, working on my third deck, I would have laughed at you, but here I am.
That is amazing. I say, I love this Earth ancestors. I just want to play with the deck. Okay, why don't we, again, since I cannot put this down apparently, what if so if we want to do this for everybody watching, kind of a general, I'm not one who does readings on the show or anything like that at all. So
I did a podcast yesterday and I was surprised. They did ask for a card full. I was not expecting it.
really, I really, I maybe I've done this once and like
Yeah.
never missed a week, 5 years plus. But again, I'm loving your cards. So
Oh,
what
thank
should
you.
we do? I'm gonna have you, should we do one, two, or three? What if
Let's
we,
do
why don't
one.
we do
Let's.
this for the new year?
Oh, that's
We're
nice.
close to the end of December.
You pick the number.
Three.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna pick three cards. Da-da-da. No, I just talked about that one. Huh? Now, do you ever go separate? Here's the air, here's the water, and here's the thing, or no?
I keep them shuffled together when I'm reading. I organize them occasionally to make sure I haven't lost a card.
I know that always, whatever kind of cards I'm
Yeah.
using, I
I mean,
always
I
look
do that
on
with
the
all my
floor.
cards. Every once in a while, I had the moment of panic. I haven't seen this card in a while, and then I'll separate them into the suits and count them and make sure they're all where they're supposed to be.
Okay, me too. All right, so let's look at this. Again, this is just for fun. So if anybody's tuning in, we're looking at 2026. We're a couple weeks away from the end of the year. I pulled three cards in no particular order. I pulled Earth, the Scarab, which here it says rebirth, regeneration, and
Oh,
transformation.
that's actually an excellent card for the new year.
Is it? How would you
Yes,
read that? Just as is?
scarabs. Well, yeah, I mean, you could. It is rebirth, which is why it's such an excellent. The symbol of the scarab is based on the Egyptian deity Khepri, which is a scarab beetle. And what if you have ever seen a scarab beetle? I mean, this is not. They look more romantic in jewelry, but what they do is they roll balls of dung, and then they kind of yeah, they kind of disappear into them, and then they emerge. And the ancient Egyptians understood them as symbols of rebirth, new birth, and regeneration. And a lot of them are very beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I think that is particularly good for the new year. They have also become lucky symbols over the year. There's a lot of, if I had known, I'd be wearing my scarab bracelet. But there's a lot of scarab jewelry out there, which you can wear as
Yes.
an amulet. It's, I think with that one, because we have the little bit of gold on there, that was, yeah. So it's wealth, it's rebirth, it's new beginnings. And I think that it's an auspicious way to go into the new year.
Okay. And along with, let's have a little water, mirror magic,
Oh,
divination, portal, and truth.
so I love divination and I love omens and I actually love magic mirrors. And there's a bunch of mirror spells in Encyclopedia of 5,000 Spells for anybody else who likes a mirror spell. I think New Year's Eve and the beginning of a new year, I always like to do some sort of magical work, some sort of divination to see what's coming for me personally. And I think the magic mirror is very good for that. It is also maybe a direction for the new year to look in the mirror and who do you see? Do you see who
Mm.
you want to be? Or when you see yourself, are you maybe a little disappointed and sad this is not who you want to be? But this is the scarab rebirth. It's a good time to, we can start fresh at the new year. And I'm not talking about creating resolutions, which sometimes get very depressing, but just sort of maybe a plan. Instead of a 5 year plan, a 1 year plan. Where do you want to be at the end of the year and make a plan for yourself? And the scarab and the mirror to me are also, they're romantic and they're beauty. Scarabs are beautiful. Uh, And the mirror is also, a lot of mirrors are beautiful, a lot of magic mirrors. If you look at ancient Etruscan mirrors, they're so beautiful. And so maybe to consider, the world is pretty harsh right now. How do we bring more beauty into the world and into our own personal lives?
I think
Whatever that might mean for you.
that is beautiful. And that's kind of where I was going to go next after the card pull. Okay. So the last card that it is giving us, though it makes me want to do one more, but I won't. Air, the flying witch, freedom, flight, travel, female power.
We are flying. Isn't this good for the new year? It is, and I have to say this, it's an oracle deck. There are no scary cards. If tarot, and I know because I have been a card reader and people sometimes panic when they see tarot cards, certain tarot
Yeah.
cards. There's nothing that will make you panic in this deck. Look at this. It's a new year. We have rebirth. We have deciding who we're going to be. Mirrors are also often used to contact spirits. So maybe think about spiritual growth in the new year. And that broom, get on our brooms and just fly. It's magic. And find your power.
I
Have
love this.
fun.
Okay, now I said three because three is that magical number, but
Uh-huh.
being the Libra that I am, we need a fire card.
We need to
So that's
balance
why I
it.
said do it or separate. So I'm going to just reach into the deck
Okay.
and see if I can pull out a fire card because we need each of the elements.
That was pretty balanced, actually.
Yeah, that was, but it's because they're good cards. Okay, my favorite thing in the world: fire, dragon, treasure,
Oh,
protection, and wealth.
yes.
Oh, these cards are for me. I'm sorry.
Well, I think it is. Yeah, I mean, I fingers crossed. 2026 will be a good year for some of us. I think these are auspicious cards. This is too. I think we were the first three cards. They were about personal power and
Mhm.
beauty and goals and magical goals. But that dragon is telling us to take care of some practical, to strive to surround ourselves with objects that make us happy, that empower us, the dragon on its hoard, not to look at it as a symbol of greed, but as a
Mm.
symbol of, sometimes physical objects can be very beneficial, especially magical physical objects. And I mean, for some people, it might literally be money. Maybe you need, thinking of all the Tauruses out there, we need that financial stability to be at our best. And so that's a goal. Our goal to have the resources, sufficient resources to create the life that we want in 2026.
I love that. And I agree wholeheartedly. So, you guys, good year ahead. Make it a good year ahead.
Make
Again,
it a good
we have
year.
a little bit of divination here, and then
Right.
we have the spells to adjust whatever you need to
And
make
that's
it
what spells
happen.
are. That's what spells
Yeah,
are. Spells are to
yeah,
make your life better.
yeah. Wholeheartedly. You just little nudges where you need the little nudges along the way. I love that. Again, I'm just so enthralled with this. You have to, I don't get
I'm glad. That
this
really makes me happy.
enthusiastic
Thank you,
about this
Patty.
stuff. Ah. So if people are as intrigued as I am, tell me where they can find you, follow. Do you have any events coming up or anything like that into the new year or?
This is oh, I haven't done a live event since 2020, but I'll be doing one in May 2026 at the Amityville Apothecary out in Long Island, New York.
Nice.
So if you are in the area, they're doing a whole weekend event. I'll be there. Amy Blackthorne will be there. I don't even know who else will be there, but it looks like so much fun. And I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I have a damaged website that I haven't had a chance to fix, but one of these days,
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm on Instagram.
Beautiful. So, okay. So a damaged website, is it, is it your name on all the social medias? We'll list
Yeah,
it
yeah.
all here.
It's not my name. I'm not hard to find. If you do a search for me, you will find me.
And they can get your cards and your books everywhere?
Wherever fine books and cards are sold,
Ah,
online, offline,
I,
or
again,
directly through the publisher. You can also contact them and they will sell it to you.
again, I,
They have a
I am
website.
giddy as a schoolgirl about this. So any words of wisdom for the new year for everybody before we go? Entering into 20, we're at the last couple weeks of the year, the holidays.
I think everybody should take some deep breaths and be kind to other people and be kind to yourself too.
Perfection. Thank you so much, Judika. Thank you for
Thank you,
bringing your
Patty. That was fun.
wisdom, your
Thank you.
magic, your balance to everything that we are doing. Thank you, you
Well,
guys. Like
what are the
her.
balance cards? They're scales, like Libra.
Oh, oh, of course they are. Isn't that awesome? I'm just, thank you. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Again, I'm giddy as a schoolgirl right now. This makes me so happy. So you guys like her, follow her, get this deck. I could see so many ways you could use it, both in your practice, in your spell crafting, just as that daily gift. I've gotten a lot out of it just this little bit so far. So thank you, Judika. Yes, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, take care of yourself. And magic is everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty.